If you're like me and you like to see the bedazzling big beefy boy Bravo brazenly break baddie specs barehanded by brute force, then by all means, this is the deck for you. In true Guardian fashion, we spend lots of resources to deal lots of damage to our foes, and we're not scared to take a beating either. In the end, our retaliation will hurt way more than their puny jabs and punches. But before we even take a look at anything, can somebody get that lady some help? I think she's choking on something and nobody seems to care. Bravo least of all, he's distracted by a butterfly. But who am I to judge? He seems like a great guy. Whatever the case may be, our hero of course is Bravo. For 2 resource points he will give all our attack action cards with cost 3 or more dominate until end of turn. Well, we're only ever going to play a single attack per turn, but we'll make sure that it hurts. As for what dominate does, the defending hero can defend the attack with more than 1 card from their hand. The weapon we're using is Titan's Fist. Once per turn we can pay 3 to attack for 3 damage. It also has a passive ability. While there's a card with cost 3 or greater in our pitch zone, Titan's Fist will gain +1 attack to give us a total of 4. Since Titan's Fist is a one-handed weapon, we are able to wield a shield in our offhand. The epic name of the insurmountable wall we use to defend ourselves with is Rotten Old Buckler. It can block 1 damage and is destroyed if we defend it with it and the combat chain closes. While it might not seem like much, it is an additional free block point for us that can sometimes decide the game. Our game plan is simple: go big or go bigger. Since we'll only ever attack once per turn, we have to set up big damage turns. And I mean big damage. The red versions of Macho Grande, Pummel and Slogism are great cards for our arsenal. Busting these out at the right time can be backbreaking for our opponents. I also recommend saving 2 armor pieces, Hardened Crosstrap and Goliath Gauntlet for this occasion. The turn could look like this, for example. We destroy Hardened Crosstrap and Goliath Gauntlet. We then pitch a blue card to play a red Slogism from our arsenal to give our next attack action card +6 damage. Pitch either another 2 blue cards or a blue and a yellow card to play a red Macho Grande. With this, we'll deal the small amount of 18 damage with Dominate. Since 22 cards in our deck are blues and another 2 are yellow, it's not uncommon to have the amount of resources needed for a turn like this. And with other cards, such as Seismic Stir, which lowers the cost of our first attack action card on our next turn, and cheaper attack action cards such as Debilitate and Chokeslam, there are numerous other ways to deal the same amount of damage, or at least get close. I'm sure you'll figure them out yourselves. In between those setup turns, we either keep up the pressure with our basic attacks, which still deal a considerable amount of damage, or we use most if not all of our hand to block incoming damage. Okay, now let's get to the cardboard that makes up our deck. First, every variant of a card we play it twice. In total we run 26 attacks. A whopping 20 of those have Crush. Crush is a keyword that basically gives our opponent a debuff for the next turn if the attack deals 4 or more damage to them. The debuff itself differs from card to card. Most of the time our opponents won't be happy with it, so they have to use at least 1 or 2 cards to deal with our Crush attacks. Our most important attacks are both the red and blue version of Macho Grande, as well as the red versions of Chokeslam and Debilitate. These combined with the buffs in our deck can be extremely painful, and while we're at it, let's take a look at those buffs. We play every variant of Pummel, as well as the red and blue Slogism. So if our opponent decides to block our weakest Crush attack with 3 defense or less, even a blue Pummel will be enough to trigger the Crush effect, as well as Pummel's discard effect of course. Our standard equipment will be the ever important Goliath Gauntlet and Hardened Crosstrap. Helm of Isen's Peak stays equipped even if we've blocked with it, and if we've had a defensive turn but have some resources left, we can activate its ability to draw an additional card at the end of our turn. And Iron Rod Legs will simply give us an additional block value once. The remaining arsenal consists of Narun Hood and Boots in case we play against arcane damage centric heroes. Okay, since Dynasty spoilers are done now, there's only one card I would replace in this deck. Since we're allowed to put up to 2 rares in our weapon or armor slots, I would replace Rotten Old Buckler with Steel Braid Buckler. In total, it will block 3 damage compared to only 1. A worthy upgrade in my books. Well, look at you. You've made it until the end. This is the part of the video where I say everybody's favorite things, such as please like the video if you've enjoyed it. I would really like to know if I'm doing this right and if people can actually get something out of this. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. I plan to upload once a week, although expect some hiccups since I'm new to video editing. But for now, take care of yourself, thank you for your time, and maybe I will see you in the next video.